Is it? Check it. Refresh it.
Why? It's pretty accurate.
Do you still have to plan to like do it 17 years back and make it involved on here?
Well, that's gonna have to involve the state. We would love to do that. We presented a plan.
Information.
Hey, you guys want
We own an awful lot of stuff. Clean it up. Some landscaping. We think we'll beautify, that side of the street. We need the state and the town.
This color. Yeah, does that color look good?
Watch it, right?
But they might be open to it.
Let me say one thing.
Yeah, he said he was coming.
Let me see real quick. Turn it on me.
If you guys have any questions, please tweet at us. We will try to get your questions out here in the press conference. Tweet at us at Q30 News. Once again, we will stay live for the duration of the press conference. Tweet us your questions at Q30 News. Thanks.
How you been? Good. Having a break? Anything special? Yeah.
One of them's very interesting. One of them
You just missed it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm bad.
Five.
Oh, you're okay.
I mean, I could stay.
We're checking out sources.
That's part of it.
We had a source meeting.
So yeah, we can work with some of the things.
Yeah.
Very specific.
47, 49.
Okay. All right.
We have gas.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, John. How are you?
How are you? Good,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Hi, Matt.
No, it's like a ALI, it's a fleet management thing.
You guys are all with Q30, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Which is awesome. You tell my car broken into. You probably take the picture of that. Yeah, for me, it's that just
Any plans to have a game on Sunday? I read where the Patriots have never won a Super Bowl with 4 points.
Do you get rewards?
No.
Show him again. Show him other people. Just keep it on that.
Believe me, our students still find a good time on someplace.
You know, a lot of the guys are like, Sam. My daughter wanted to.
Already deprived.
Oh, that's right, I remember that.
Going up the wilderness team.
You'll be fine.
Dangerous. And then again, it was.
Says Jack, no crew. So did you see where one of the round stations got for the presidential question? You were out there, right?
Yeah. I did not see that. I remember, was it Dan or Sam? Was it WP or C?
It was a CES. So was it
It's good because I just put my credit card there. So he's got like cover that. I mean, good for him. That entire station.
Yeah.
I love this. I mean, if they do that, then you're good because you can recycle.
Either a bridge or a closed. So she was closed.
I think it's
Instead of saying, I'm waiting.
Great.
You know, it came out if she was speaking with them.
Good enough to say, okay, gas Break them around. Page 3, higher tier. 290, but he's right in the back. It's over.
Yeah, on top.
Forever bond. The big guy. Indeed.
There's no contract protection for that. We have higher than that.
Now they're starting Joe elected.
And he's doing it for himself.
Right.
He had some guy videoing him, giving his commencement speech, like, say about him.
So that about everybody. Just 2 days.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. A lot of situations.
I know, like, I was on the leadership committee that put that in for ours 2 contracts ago.
About that.
Because we were first given that the ability to have MMJs, and so we put a lot of parameters on it. I know we have a less than MJ contract. The idea is if we have 20 photographers, we don't hire MJ.
Really?
No.
There's not much about the contractor. Really? because somebody said to me, like, you don't turn on the radio. I said it before I go. You don't adjust the air. He's like, I pulled over. He's like, oh, come on. It's too hot here.
Your stage arrived, so.
Okay.
Mayor is on the ramp.
Okay. I said, you're by yourself. There's no camera switching. I don't know about the noises you hear, but you sure it's out there.
No?
Just takes down the whole thing.
You're gonna win the Super Bowl.
When is the Super Bowl?
Sunday.
Is it?
I think the Falcons could win. Yeah.
Oh, my, no, my.
No, you're a photographer. I thought I was the mayor. I was like, oh, there he is.
You ready to go here, Mayor? Mayor's, yeah.
Welcome, everyone.
Who's going first, Mayor?
Yeah. Want to welcome everyone first?
Well, good morning or good afternoon. Have we had good afternoon yet? Apologize for being a few minutes late, trying to get some antibiotics to clear up these sinuses. I want to just express my appreciation to Quinnipiac University and in particular to President Leahy for taking the time and effort to come in and to understand Hamden's issues, our problems that we've had in budgeting, our problems that we've had with neighborhood relations, and any town gown issues that a university or college town are going to have in that symbiotic relationship. And in taking the time to understand that, and in working together, communicating, meeting regularly, spending the time to review the issues, to talk about the issues, and quite frankly, to develop a relationship that's a personal relationship, Quinnipiac and the town are on better footing right now than we have been in a very long time. And that is of great benefit to both the university and to the town. Any university in town, town-gown relationship, any college town is going to have better experiences in their neighborhoods, is going to have better benefit to the town from non-financial contributions, and then to bring it to today, to have the university bring a financial contribution of this significance to the town is certainly appreciated, and it goes to show that the university recognizes the town's need for that assistance for the services that we provide. And I'm very appreciative to the fact that they're here today, and in particular, again, to President Leahy for taking the time to develop the relationship that he and I have so that we can have today be a turning point, a page turner, if you will, in university and town relations, and I hope that it'll just get better from here.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, it's a pleasure for me to be here, and you know, I've been the president of Quinnipiac University for 30 years, so I think this is my 8th mayor. I know a lot of these people up here, and I must say, this year has been the best year between town-gown relations, and the relationship that I have with Mayor Kurt Lang and the town is the best it has been in my 30 years here. And I've had some good relations, and obviously we've had our challenges in years past also. But and I attribute that. I've been the constant, so it's I can't take any credit for it. I think the reason why the relationship has been so good this past year, and the reason why we're here today, quite honestly, is because of the leadership of Kurt Langley, the mayor, and the communication that has improved over this past year. I have had more communications, more meetings with this mayor just in the past year, not to mention he has my cell phone and I have his, regular communications and even text messages back and forth that we've used frequently and I think effectively. We have had more communications of all that type, telephone, personal meetings, as well as electronic communication than I've had with all the mayors for the previous 29 years. So I think it's Quinnipiac is enormously appreciative of the town of Hamden. We wouldn't be the great university we are without the support we get here, town of Hamden. But this year in particular, I want to pay tribute to Mayor Kurt Lang and the support that he's given and the understanding. Again, it's a two-way relationship. Obviously, the town has important issues and that they need to make sure are taken care of, particularly the quality of life for all the citizens here in Hamden. And Quinnipiac University obviously has needs, and I think this year in particular, most of those have come together in a very positive way. This year, this fiscal year, the town will receive approximately $3.1 million from the pilot program. That's state funds, that payment in lieu of taxes that the town receives because of Quinnipiac's substantial presence here in the town. In addition to that, this year we're going to make over and above the $3.1 million that they receive from the state. We will make a contribution of $1.4 million, which will cover property taxes in some cases. It will cover support for police and EMT services, particularly those services that are provided at our TD Bank Sports Center. Tom Wydra, the police chief, is here. I'm delighted to recognize him. We have a wonderful relationship. Our public safety and the public safety department here in Hamden have been terrific, and so we're happy to support them. And in addition, there's a significant voluntary contribution as part of this $1.4 million. I would say, just by comparison, 2 years ago we made a total contribution of $1.2 million for each of those three areas, for some property taxes, for support for EMT and police services, and a voluntary contribution. Last year was a little bit of a rocky year, and we gave the town approximately $665,000, I think, exclusively for property taxes and police and EMT services. But this year I'm delighted, thanks to this improved relationship and real partnership, that will come back and not only give a substantial contribution of $1.4 million, but it's over $2 million more than we gave 2 years ago. And I have every confidence that with the relationship that we have with the mayor, the cooperation and the support that Quinnipiac is willing to make for this town, that not only will this relationship improve in the years ahead, but I hope our financial commitment each year will be able to increase as well. So with that, let me present the mayor a check for $1.4 million to the town of Hamden, which I have no doubt the mayor will put to good use.
And the bigger the check is, actually, you get a little more interest on it, so it's not too bad. Thank you very much. Thank you.
With that, we'd be happy to take questions from you.
President, what do you think was the turning point in kind of turning these town-gown relations? Or anything you guys can point to, a particular meeting you two gentlemen had together that have led to this better improved relations in the past couple months?
You know, I think I think the mayor's election, and I think there were some issues that maybe came to a head that we really needed the attention of both the mayor and town officials and I as the university president. So I think circumstances dictated it to some degree, but I think with a different leader, someone who is not willing to meet as regularly as Mayor Lang has done and work with us on a very cooperative basis. And I might add, it's not just some of the things that the mayor mentioned or the services that we receive. There are a variety of other issues I could mention in terms of how the town and the university has cooperated on some development projects and things along Whitney Avenue, and other issues related to historic houses. So there's been just tremendous amount of cooperation and willingness on the part of this mayor to meet with us, and as I said, most of these issues involve compromises. The easy issues, when we agree the town and the university's interests are perfectly aligned, it probably doesn't matter who the president of the university is or who the mayor is. But the issues that we're talking about were really ones that needed some compromise and some mutual understanding on both sides. And so I attribute it primarily to the fact that 2 years ago, thereabouts, relations were not good, and they sort of came to a head. But most importantly, I think it's the election of this mayor.
And Mayor, follow-up for you, what areas do you think you'll use this money? Where will the residents here in Hamden see the benefit from this nice contribution from the QU?
Sure. I'd like to say thank you very much. I appreciate it very much, President Leahy. If I could just follow up the first answer first, then I'm happy to help on that one. In thinking about today, one of the things that came to mind was a good marriage. What goes into a good marriage? Communication, the willingness to put your best foot forward, to do the best you can, and then both parties are going to be happier and are going to have a better relationship that you can build on moving forward. And in many ways, you can have that same comparison between town-gown relations and a marriage. And I think that we had our state where we had to go through a little bit of counseling, and we got past that, and are on a very good footing now. These dollars are going to go toward a lot of things. They're going to help our general fund. So they're going to help our budget this year, which is going to be terrific as we work to balance our budget. And they're also going to go to arts programs, concert series to help us with our fireworks this year. So you're going to see it sprinkled through our guardian services, the arts, and a number of other areas.
President Leahy, what does this gift to the town of Hamden mean potentially for the student population, Quinnipiac?
Well, again, it's our way of thanking the town for what it does for our students. I mean, we receive, town services, whether it's the fire department, or the police department, or EMT, or all the services that any typical resident would receive in a town where they're located. We don't take those for granted. They're critical. I mean, we have thousands of students living here, and while we're primarily responsible for their education, their health and well-being and safety is absolutely critical. So to know that we have a town that is supporting those areas, particularly when we need them, and that they're there for us, this is a small way, frankly, of saying thank you to the town on behalf of the students for all the services the town of Hamden provides to make sure that their stay here in Hamden is the best for them in their education, and that their quality of life and that their health and well-being are taken care of. And so it really is it's not so much a gift in my view. It's a way of Quinnipiac contributing back to the town that provides so many of these critical services that we absolutely need for our students.
With this new relationship, President Leahy, do you think that Quinnipiac will start sending its shuttles back to the town of Hamden?
Well, in fact, we have already agreed as part of it's part of the press release out there, so I assume you all had received it, but maybe not. We have agreed. The mayor and I have talked about this. This has been an issue of importance to the mayor in particular and the town business community. So we will be adding to our shuttle service additional routes so that it will stop in the town business centers and the Hamden Plaza as part of our shuttle. Our shuttle service now, we spend about $1.8 million on the shuttle service. It now goes to all three campuses, two of which are right here in Hamden and also the North Haven campus. And we did change last year to have that shuttle, and instead of going to the Hamden shopping area, we moved it to the North Haven shopping area. It was really done in part because the shuttle was expanded to North Haven, and while it is in North Haven, it's actually right on the shuttle route, just one exit south of the connector as opposed to two exits north. So the Hamden one was a little bit out of the way from the loop, but the mayor impressed upon me the importance of this many times. He didn't bring it up once, I can assure you. He was quite persistent, and so as part of this agreement, we will be adding that shuttle service at a cost of $54,000. It's not coming out of the $1.4 million. This is our budget, but we're happy to do it. And I must say, not only the mayor's persistence on this issue, but the business community has always been supportive of Quinnipiac University, and obviously they realize that Quinnipiac students spend a lot of money and buy a lot of things and need a lot of things from the businesses here. So that will be added as part of this overall agreement that we're announcing today.
President Leahy, will this signal any sort of change for development or expansion in the Hamden campuses?
We're not planning on anything of a major nature. We're renovating some facilities, with one exception, that we are planning and have just internally approved through our Building and Grounds Committee, adding another residence hall on the Yorkville campus. And this also, I haven't given the official word to the mayor yet because it does require one more internal approval. The mayor has also consistently pressed for us to build more residence halls and to move more of our students who live in non-university owned and operated housing to our campuses here. So we do hope to get this approval by the spring internally, and then we'll be presenting it to the town, and it'll be senior housing in the Yorkville area, and it's part of actually the original approval of almost 2,000 beds on the Yorkville campus. We've built, I think, a little over 1,500 beds. This will bring it up to about 1,700 beds, and it'll be very attractive senior housing with air conditioning and private rooms and some accommodation for fraternities and sororities that we think will clearly attract back from the neighborhoods onto our campus. So, and that too will again address an issue of concern that we have, as few students living in non-university housing, whether it's on our campuses or in the houses that we own, because as you know, where Quinnipiac owns and operates, whether it's a residence hall on either of our campuses here in Hamden or houses that we own, we do not have problems there because we have an ability to influence the students and their behavior very effectively. Where we've had problems in the past have really been in largely absentee landlord renting houses to our students, and in some cases renting them in highly residential areas. I and the mayor certainly agree on that that's what we want to eliminate, and we work very cooperatively with the mayor and the town on that issue as well.
President Leahy, I just have a quick question about, is there anything going on with the empty space on Whitney Avenue where the houses were demolished?
Well, there will eventually be something going on there, and we have acquired many properties between Ives and Mount Carmel. And when I came 30 years ago, and as recently as 10 or 15 years ago, that was a major source of problems, frankly, between the town and the university. Most of those houses were owned by absentee landlords. There were our students living in them. There were parties there in years past, as some of you will remember. We've had students that are disabled today because of getting hit by cars. We had a student actually killed about 15 or so years ago walking across Whitney Avenue there. And it's just, the houses were not well maintained, and so we have acquired those, and in just about every cases we've demolished those houses. We did also work cooperatively. Again, I want to thank the mayor for his leadership in terms of the historic houses. Some of them were historic houses, and we were able to reach a compromise with the mayor's support and active involvement to preserve two of the 6 houses. And we will have, and we'll be presenting to the town in the next 6 months or so, a landscaping plan that's in process now to turn that side of Whitney Avenue, the east portion of it, where we own the overwhelming majority of the property now. I mean, some of them are offices for Quinnipiac. We have a museum there. We have a WQN radio station. We have a polling institute. We have a grant strategy of Whitney Village Apartments. So some of those houses we've renovated, and they're very attractive, and we're using them for administrative offices. In the areas where we've knocked down the houses, we intend to beautify that area, turn it into green space. We have some very exciting and what we think are very attractive ways of landscaping it. And with the 2 historic buildings that we preserve, part of the reason why those fit into that plan. One of the other buildings did not, in terms of really where it was located. So we will be beautifying that whole area, we think, much to the benefit of
of the town and certainly the university, eliminating a sore point in terms of student misbehavior and parties along that area, and turning it into that side in particular, a very beautiful area. And we hope to work with the business community to turn the other side, the western side there of the area, into commercial areas that are attractive and that our students will want to use, as well as other residents in the town of Hamden.
Thank you.
President Leahy, going back to the expansion on York Hill, you mentioned stuff about like Greek life places. It could be something similar to like the houses at like Yukon, like dedicated Greek life.
I don't know what UConn does, but these will not be fraternity houses. These will be apartments and units that we will encourage at least members of the fraternity to have as residents there. When I was referring to the fraternities and sororities, built into this project, they need large meeting spaces for pledges and events that they have of 200 or 300, which we can't accommodate on our campus. This facility built into it will have large meeting places just for fraternities and sororities. And for those of you who might be worried about fraternities and sororities, I was a member of a fraternity back in the 60s when I went to college. It's much improved since then. Probably back then, we were the problem. Fraternities and sororities are the most positive influences on college campuses today, and overwhelmingly positive on the Quinnipiac campus. And actually, a third of our undergraduate students are members of fraternities and sororities. The amount of good work that they do, fundraising, community work, the grades that they receive, I mean, they're enormously positive part of the Quinnipiac culture and university culture more generally. And so we are accommodating them through some meeting rooms and things. So it's more along those lines. Okay, nothing else?
I see this is the best press conference I've ever had because all the questions are asked of someone else. No, in all seriousness, I just want to say thank you again. And I'll throw a question out to you guys for fun. How many people in this room thought a year ago that we'd be having a press conference of this tenor and discussion? Raise your hand. All right. That means something good.
Even I didn't raise my hand. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, because I think it's great. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Thanks for the coverage.
Okay. Actually, one very good spot.
For more information regarding all of this new information, head to our website, www.q30television.com. We will have up-to-date information there all day long throughout the weekend regarding President Leahy and the town of Hamden.
Unfortunately, it's not funded as much as we'd like, but